What's up guys? Today I'm going to be taking you through an entire workout and it's going to be something that I would program for one of my athletes. So let's get into it. We always start every workout with a power exercise because it's going to be the most demanding from an intensity standpoint, and we want to be able to move as fast as we can and we want to be able to recover fully in between our sets. So I'm doing med ball slams today. Another day it might be jumps, and let's go. Most important thing is to, number one, make sure you're moving whatever you're doing as fast as you can. And number two, keep your volume low and get your rest. We want to move as fast as we possibly can every rep. And if we're not resting fully and recovering in between sets, we're not gonna be able to do that. Now we're getting into our front squats, and I'm only doing 3x3 on basically everything today, just because I'm lifting with some higher volume throughout the rest of the week, and I've been doing a lot of jiu-jitsu, so I'm trying not to kill myself. Last week I did just 225 for 3, and I'm gonna just go up 5 to 10 pounds a day. Just gonna do 1 or 2 warm-up sets. We'll start with 135, maybe go up to 185, and then I'll probably hit 235 today. I'm actually just gonna skip right to 235. Don't tell anybody. Get to use these beautiful pink clips. Actually felt pretty heavy. One thing we want to keep in mind when we're doing basically any lift as an athlete, is especially as a combat sport athlete, is we want to get to the absolute deepest range of motion that we can while keeping good form, because that's going to do 2 things. Number one, we're going to build strength. And a deeper range of motion, that took a lot out of me. But we're also going to be building mobility. So if I can only squat to quarter depth and I just keep staying there, I'm not gonna get any more mobile, any more flexible. But if I try to get an inch deeper every time I squat, I'm gonna be building more mobility, and I'm gonna be building strength and that new range of motion. So mobility without strength is essentially worthless. It makes you more vulnerable to injuries because flexibility and mobility are the opposite of stability. So whenever you're lifting, get as deep a range of motion as you can and try to build on that week to week, getting deeper and deeper. Let me show you a quick detail of setting up for a front squat here. A couple things when we're setting up is it doesn't really matter how wide you have your hands, but you want them to be outside your shoulders. So I usually find the knurling, put my thumbs there, back this up a little so you can see better. Usually find the knurling, put my thumbs there, and then extend my thumbs out, and that's where I'm gonna start. From there, I'm just rolling under, and I'm finding that spot in my shoulder where I can rest the weight. So if you put your arms straight out, find that groove in your shoulder, and then you see there's a bunch of meat right in front of there, that's where the weight should be resting. And the higher you keep your elbows, the better your squat's gonna be, because if you let your elbows drop, it's gonna put a lot more stress on your wrist. It's gonna be harder to maintain your posture, harder to come back up. Kind of hard. You might be wondering why I'm front squatting instead of back squatting. Honestly, I do both. I have my athletes do both. I like to teach people how to front squat before they back squat, because it forces them to keep their torso more upright, whereas a back squat, they're going to be more inclined forward, and so they have to consciously keep that torso more upright. With a front squat, if you don't keep it upright, you're just going to drop the weight. So I like to teach goblet squat, then front squat, and then back squat. All right, hardest part of the workout is honestly done. Now I'm gonna head back downstairs to hit my rows. Next, we're doing a pendlay row, which if I'm being honest, isn't the best exercise in the world for your back for rowing, but it's a good exercise for athletes because you're getting some activation of that rhomboid and lat, but you're also in a isometric position for the posterior chain. So it's a good exercise to get a little bit of something else, but also get your rows in. This is probably something I'd write for an intermediate to advanced lifter, honestly. Intermediate because you got a front squat and usually beginners struggle with that. And it's pretty easy for an advanced lifter, but you got to remember an advanced lifter is probably also an advanced athlete. So they're going to be training a lot of jiu-jitsu or striking, whatever they do. And so keeping their volume low is super important. Okay. I found my lift partner, but he doesn't want to do my lift today.
Hi guys.
Say,
I look like I'm balding.
we're both balding, so it doesn't matter. So I had flat barbell bench programmed, but they just got this new little device here at my gym. So I'm gonna try it out. Normally I would say don't deviate from the plan, but my plan's kind of been a little wonky this week. I already flat benched. So I'm just gonna swap this in for the rest of this block because I still have 2 more weeks on it and enjoy this little, this new piece of equipment they got. For midgets to put their feet up? I don't know. I don't like that though. That's really in the way. Dude, I might ask him to take them all. Dude, I'm telling you, they're for really short people that need to put their feet up.
That's insane.
Yeah, I know, that's whack.
That bench is not a full bench.
I know. Because I'm not very tall.
Right.
I don't know, I don't work here. Oh, that was weird. Oh, that's not how you do it. I don't do math very well, so I have to have my lift partner here tell me what the weights are because they're the ones that you just like put onto the bar. And I never know what the weights are because they're not labeled. We got 85-pound dumbbells, at least I think. All right, that was pretty heavy. My shoulder's feeling a little wonky now. I think I'm gonna call it with 2 sets on those. You need to find the difference between you being a weenie and you knowing when to shut it down. And usually combat sport athletes, their problem is not knowing when to shut it down and they push through, hurt themselves, start the cycle of injury, rest, injury, rest. But yeah, I'm gonna shut it down. All right, this is my last exercise. It is the Nordic hamstring curl. Honestly, it is my favorite posterior chain exercise, possibly because I can show off when doing it because I'm light, so I can go up and down without my hands. But it's also just a great exercise for the posterior chain, specifically the hamstrings. And technically I'm supposed to be doing glute ham raises, but I think it's the same. So let's do it. So with Nordics, they're pretty tough to do if you've never done them before. One thing I can recommend is get underneath a rack, tie a band up, put the band around your chest, and then that'll give you a little bit of help slowing yourself down on the way down and coming back up. And you can always push with your hands on the way back up if you need to, but it's important to try to keep your body in that straight line from your knee to your shoulder so that you're using your hamstrings and you're not just walking yourself back up. All right, that does it for our workout today. If you have any questions, please hit me up. Donovan, do you have anything to say?
No, nothing today.
All right, thanks for watching. I don't know. That's good.